Hello everyone, my name is David Raju. I'm a naturalist from India. I traveled across quite a lot of wilderness areas in India, and I'll be sharing some of my wilderness experience. And today I'm going to talk about one of my favorite animals, the Dholes or the Asiatic wild dogs. And I was fortunate to see these wild dogs in different parts of India. So it's very easy to identify from rest of the dogs species. They are red in color with a black bushy tail, and usually whenever we see them, they'll be often in a group of 5 to 10. Occasionally we've seen them up to 20, 25 and all. So they always operate in small packs. And one of the best sighting I had, it was almost 15, 16 years ago when we were doing our naturalist training in Kanha National Park. So Kanha National Park is one of the prettiest park in India, which got a lot of grasslands, which we often call it a meadows, and lots of salt trees. It's a mixed deciduous forest. So it's a stunning place to see a lot of animals. There are plenty of tigers there. You will get to see gores, and one of the main animal is the swamp deers, or we call it a barasingas. So during our naturalist training time, so we were around 22 guys, different parts of India. So we were getting trained. So there was a African ranger, is a head trainer from Sisi Africa. Graham, he was with us. Then Sharath, who was heading the Taj Safari head training, so he was with us. So they were training us, and we were excited, young group of naturalists. So we had to drive our open jeep into the jungle and track animals and guide. So and they used to give feedbacks how to do guidings and all. So that was my turn to drive the vehicle. So I still remember we were passing through different meadows, and we went to check a waterhole called Babatinga. Babatinga is actually a very well-known waterhole in Kanha National Park. Quite a lot of tiger sightings. People always go there and check that place. So that day we went there. We couldn't see much animals there, and we thought, okay, let's time to head back. So while coming back, we had to pass through a large grassland, a meadow called Bishanura. So Bishanpura, that was a summertime. So what happens when the forest department do the fire line? They do burn the fire lines just to prevent the fire spreading to different parts of the park. So when they did the fire line, it's actually got burned. The entire meadow got burned, and after that it rained. So the entire grassland was filled with green small grasses, and the grassland was filled with animals. There's literally hundreds of spotted deers. The sambas were there. Their gores were there. There's swamp deers were. So technically from one view, we could see literally hundreds of animals there. So we were driving past. Suddenly I saw 9 wild dogs were literally running towards our vehicle. I literally shouted, guys, there's wild dog. I stopped my car. The moment we stopped, we were actually in a vantage point. We could see the entire grassland, and the wild dog started running towards us. So all of us naturalists, we had cameras. So that day we didn't touch our cameras. We were all picked up our binoculars, started looking at the wild dogs. So we knew that what commotion it's going to happen when the wild dogs enter the grassland. So after a few minutes, the dogs actually got into the meadow. So the deer saw it. One deer saw the dogs were running towards them. So the deer started running. Usually whenever we see the wild dogs, um, I mean, if there are deers around, deers will run. If there is a tiger or leopard, deers usually stand there and look at the leopard or a tiger, give warning call, the alarm calls. But in case of wild dogs, all the deers were running literally. And the moment spotted deer started running, imagine around 200, 300 deers are running, and all the sambas got scared. They started running. All the swamp deers, barasingas started running. And at that time, there was gores also there in the grassland. Usually, gores are not scared of all these wild dogs. But when they saw all the deers are running, these gores also started running. So the entire meadow was literally resonating with the sound. It's loud sound. We felt like that was Africa. We've seen similar scenes like from Africa. Entire animals are running when African wild dogs chase this wildebeest and other animals. So the similar scene we could see it, and we were all looking through our binoculars. So we could see one of the dogs actually started chasing a young spotted deer and just got into a small stream. It managed to catch it. So entire thing we were still looking at the through the binoculars, and it was one of the best sighting. I mean, the interesting part, none of us had any pictures to prove it. But last few time also when I met our friends who was with us, and we said, do you remember that sighting? They were all like, wow, I still remember that sighting. That was one of the best sighting we ever had. And When we talk about wild dogs, how do we find these wild dogs? So the thing when we drive through the national parks, especially in central India or any other parks, often we see all the grasslands is filled with deer. The day you don't see a single deer, that means that could be wild dogs around, because whenever there's deer, wild dogs enter the meadows, grasslands, all the deers disappear from there. They start running into different direction. That's why we often say it, wild dogs are the one actually help all these herbivores, all the deers to disperse to different parts of the jungle. Another way to find wild dogs presence, whenever we drive through the roads, we'll see their poops, droppings of wild dogs. And trust me, you'll see a lot of them, because all the wild dogs get together and poop in particular area. And it smells pretty bad. I don't think any other, like if you have been close to a tiger or a leopard poop dropping, it's fine. But wild dogs poop, it smells pretty bad. And another thing, when they hunt, they often hunt spotted deer, they hunt sambar, they hunt swamp deers. Quite a few places we've seen them hunting gore calves also. So they are very powerful hunters. What they do, unlike the tiger or leopard, they actually hunt the deer and suffocate and kill it. But these wild dogs, they actually literally start biting from different parts of the animal's body and literally tear them apart. And it's one of the sad scene to see it, how they kill these animals. So that's why probably all these wild dogs, often called earlier, like all naturalists used to call them, bloody killers. Another very interesting thing about wild dogs, we often see in our domestic dogs, they can actually bark, but wild dog don't bark. So they often communicate with a whistle sound. That's why we often call them whistling hunters. Whenever they are hunting a deer, they'll communicate with a whistling sound. And the only time we've seen whenever they're making a very different sound, like a barking sound, whenever they'll have any interaction with a leopard or a tiger. I still remember in Satpura Tiger Reserve, there was a leopard was trying to steal a wild dog kill, and one wild dog went and bit the leopard. While trying to bite the leopard, so this wild dog was literally barking and making a very different sound what we heard. Another very fascinating thing what wild dogs does it, they are known to chase the deer into the water. Sambar and spotted deer, they'll chase them. The deer literally jump into the water, and these dogs actually go behind them, literally catch them, start biting from different parts, and they'll kill the deer and drag them back to the shore, and they'll start eating from it. Wild dogs are known to mate during a peak winter time or just after the winter time, like December, January and all. We've seen their cubs in February, March and all. And it's very interesting how do they breed. Usually only a alpha male and alpha female, they'll separate from the group and they'll go to a rocky outcrops where there are very good den site. They'll go and give birth there. And we could actually observe this when we were working in Satpura Tiger Reserve, because in Satpura we could do walking safaris. So I still remember around 2-3 years we regularly used to track this group of wild dogs, and they used to den in the top of this rocky terrain, and we could see there's 3 dogs, and there's alpha male and alpha female, and there used to be a guard dog also. Means a sub-adult dog used to sit there and used to keep a watch out for all other animals come around. And when we do the walking safari, while walking back, this dog used to follow us. This sub-adult dog used to follow us. They'll make sure we are getting back to the boat and coming back to our place. And another fascinating thing about wild dogs are actually one of the most widely distributed animal in India. I mean, it's found from sea level till almost 4,000 meter above sea level. It's a lot of places it's found. It's there in recorded in southern Siberia. It's there in Southeast Asia, Central Asia. A lot of places it's actually recorded. But one of the sad part what we've been reading and we've been hearing, the wild dogs numbers are coming down pretty fast. The reason is, of course, their habitat is getting shrinked, but the main reason is actually diseases are actually killing these dogs. Because often these wild dogs actually go into nearby villages, they'll actually interact with the domestic dogs or the feral dogs and all. They'll get all these diseases like canine distemper, mange, and I still remember in Satpura, every week we used to see, 10-15 years ago, we used to see lots of wild dogs. Last month I was there in Satpura. I asked a lot of guides, have you seen wild dogs? They said, we don't see wild dog these days. I mean, there's one wild dogs used to run around there. Otherwise, the that population is probably gone because of the diseases which is actually killing them. Some of the best places to see wild dogs in India is actually in South India. There's few places in Periyar Tiger Reserve, Bandipur and Nagarhole. It's one of the good place to see wild dogs. In Central India, Satpura used to be good. I don't know what is the status now. But Pench is very good place. I saw, I think few days ago, the forest department actually put up a video saying that showing around 30 wild dogs are actually walking across a large river. So Pench is actually one of the best place to see wild dogs in India. This was all about the wild dog experiences, the stories what I shared. Hope you enjoyed these stories and my experience. I'll be coming with more wildlife stories and my experience in the jungle. Keep watching. Thank you so much.